everyone, this is David, Fairly Secret Music. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. New music update. So, what have I been listening to? Basically, since February, I've been nothing but prog for the most part. Which leads me to, we're going to talk about this issue a little bit. Peter Hamill on the cover of Prog. This is what date is this? Prog 119. It is, I believe, the June one. When I found out that he had been interviewed for this, they also released information that there's going to be a 20-disc box set of Van der Graaf Generator stuff, which will have remixes, remasters, 5.1. I just did my order yesterday, and I am looking forward to it. It does come out, technically, it's supposed to come out on my birthday, which is awesome. So, what is in this episode or issue of Prog? Some of you will be familiar with Nyma. I believe that's how her first name is pronounced, or whatever her name is on her site. I'm not sure if she's using her actual real name, but I'm assuming. I never catch her name on any of those videos for some reason. The Prog Nerd. I think that's pretty cool. Younger audience getting into prog. I'm like 48 years old, so it's cool that new listeners, 19-year-olds, I mean, shit, I am 28 years older than her, getting into prog. It's a fantastic time to get into it, because there is a lot of stuff being remixed, remastered. I mean, Peter Hamill has a new album out. It's funny, one of the guys on Progressive Ears on the Van der Graaf 20-disc box set said, I think it's weird that people are talking about this more than Peter Hamill's new solo album, and my answer was, it's not released in the US yet. It's not for another week at least, so how can we talk about it when we haven't even heard it? But we do know about the 20-disc, all the stuff that is on the 20-disc box set. I'm super excited. Big Train are also in this issue of Prog. I mean, this is a great issue. Honestly, I got the last one, and there was some good stuff in it, but not, or a couple before this. Rare Bird, which we will be talking about a little bit later. If you're not familiar with Rare Bird, they also did the song Sympathy that Marillion covered, and this guy right in the middle right here, he was one of the two keyboardists. At this point, I think they only have one keyboardist, but he is also known as Viv Savage from Spinal Tap. And John Young is in it. If you have not listened to Life Signs, do yourself a favor. They are a fantastic band. Oh, actually, here is the rest of Life Signs. Let's see. Richard Barbieri from Porcupine Tree, also keyboardist for, oh gosh, what is that band called? Japan. There's an article with Gojira. I am not a fan, really. Let's see. They talk about a former member of Big Train, I believe, Robin Armstrong. A band called Arc of Life, which is former members of, or current members of Yes. John Carpenter interview. I'm ripping up my pages here. God is an Astronaut. Never heard of them. Al Stewart, and just a bunch of reviews. So, good episode or issue of that magazine. So, with all this Prog stuff, I still haven't ruled out buying metal, because every once in a while you will find something that you cannot pass on. So, first thing up is the new Flotsam and Jetsam. Let's see if I can get this without all that glare. Don't know if we can, but maybe if I go like that. There we go. New Flotsam and Jetsam, and I've honestly only gotten through about 7 songs of this, because the day that I was listening to it, I was not feeling the greatest, and I just wanted something mellow. I don't like it so far as much as the last one. I think that was something of chaos. I'm not even sure anymore. I wish this stupid light just fuck off. Anyway, Flotsam and Jetsam, Blood in the Water. Pretty decent, but I'm just not in the mood for metal right now. Sorry, guys. I did find Testament, Souls of Black, and right now I definitely am not in the mood for Testament, but I figured why not? It was only $5.99. And last but not least, Dark Angel, Frolic Through the Park. This one is one of those albums that has kind of plagued me. Good Lord, this light is awful. So let's get it into a spot where it doesn't shine so much. There we go. Hopefully that'll be good. So you just are watching me to see where the hell this table is gonna go next. That's basically it. There we go. Now this can be kind of pushed down. So I found this for $7.99. I had the Death Angel box set. I can't find it. Where it had this and Ultraviolence and a live DVD and a CD of extras. The thing is, that didn't have lyrics, and that bugged me. So I still have that. My friend gave me Ultraviolence a while back, and so this was the only one that I was missing. Alright, that's the metal. Tragically Hip, if you're not familiar with the Tragically Hip, they are a pretty big Canadian band. They went back to the vaults. They found, 6 songs from the Road Apples era, which is basically their second album. And that second album had 6 songs that they never released. And sadly, their singer passed away a few years ago, and they decided to start going through the vaults. I think my cat is gonna bug me. Hey, yeah. So this has a few awesome songs on it that we had never heard that are from the early 90s. Griffin, Red Queen to, what is this called? Red Queen to Griffin 3. I'd been looking for this for quite some time. Always way too expensive. I found it for $5.75 at Roadrunner Records. There's a place called Roadrunner Records in Minneapolis, and John had bought a bunch of Prog stuff, and this so happened to be there, along with another box set that I will show you. But before that, I picked up Rare Birds, Epic Forest. Rare Bird was a band that, of course, Marillion did a cover of Sympathy of, and they had 2 keyboardists and a bass player and a drummer. The bass player sang, but by this album, the third album, I think one of their keyboardists left, and they gained a guitarist. The bass player started playing guitar, and then they got another bass player. On the next album, which I don't have yet, Nick Potter from Vandergraaf Generator and some Peter Hamill solo stuff started playing bass with them. So we listened to this one today when we were running around after I was done with work, and it's pretty good. It's kind of a nice blend. One thing is I kind of miss them not having guitar. Also at Roadrunner was Culpeper's Orchard. So this is the mountain music, the Polydor recordings done by Esoteric. And what this has on it is their 3 albums that they did for Polydor. They're kind of a blues rock band with some kind of little bit of Jethro Tull kind of feel going in there. That was kind of the selling point for me. Not a lot of Jethro Tull, but just enough to get me excited. I wasn't gonna actually order this at one point because I was kind of on the fence, but when I saw it at the record store, it was like $22.99, and I like to support local record stores. John used to come into the comic store I used to work at, and really nice guy. And I told him, hey, you keep on getting weird box sets like this, I'll come back, you know, because every once in a while I think, Roadrunner's not going to have anything because they're mainly vinyl. But the last 2 times I was in there, I got this one and a 4-disc box set by a band called Trees, that were a folk rock band. Some things I got from some Laser's Edge orders along with Rare Bird. And I have been ordering a lot of stuff online too. This is Spring, again, another Esoteric release. This is a band from the 70s. This came out in, I believe, 1970, and then they had demos in 71. They had a lot of people in the band, like 3 people in the band who played Mellotron. Apparently they just had one Mellotron, but multiple people played it. I've yet to actually listen to this since I got it today, so very Mellotron heavy, and kind of gloomy prog from the one song that I can remember from listening to all the samples that I was listening to. So I'll be interested in hearing what that sounds like and what the rest of it sounds like, because this is the Spring album remastered, and then the demos and additional recordings from 71 on disc 2. So James McGaugh, La Fin des Temples. I am not a good French speaker, but anyway, he is the former guitarist of Magma, and before he passed away, he put out this album that says, "For Christian, with whom I had the pleasure and honor to play for several years in Magma, the music for The End of the Temples was composed during this period, inspired by Christian's work. I thank him for his friendship, his presence, and his music." So there's James, just a stellar guitarist. That's the whole lineup of the album, and this is very much influenced by Magma, so I am excited to listen to what that is like. I believe it's technically one big long song, but it's cut up into 9 different parts. I got this on Laser's Edge. I think it was like $10.80. So let's see here. Tubeway Army, also known as technically the first Gary Numan solo album, if you think about it, because I mean he was pretty much the heart and soul of Tubeway Army. Also, this is more kind of new wave punk than the later stuff, very punk influenced. I have listened to this through once, and very different from like the Cars era Pleasure Principle type Gary Numan stuff. But even though I wasn't super heavy in the mood for this at the time, I decided to get it because a lot of things are going out of print really quick, and then when you want them, they are super expensive. So I would rather buy something when I'm not in the mood for it than down the road when I do get in the mood for it go, oh shit, now I have to pay 30, 40 bucks for it. And so, yeah, two-way army. ISILDUR'S Bane with Steve Hogarth. I don't know if you can read that. This is the color not found in nature. ISILDUR'S Bane is kind of like this proggy jazz ensemble that have been gathering like Peter Hamill and Steve Hogarth. Steve Hogarth, of course, is the singer of Marillion, and Peter Hamill is the singer of Vandergraaf Generator and solo stuff. They are actually doing another album with Peter Hamill. I did get the Peter Hamill one, but it is over there and I forgot to grab it. This is all the stuff that I've just bought in the last probably 2 weeks. I do already own this. I have a version that has DVD where he does a commentary. This is Chris Squire, the bass player from Yes. And Fish Out of Water is an interesting album because it sounds very much like a Yes album. Kind of stripped down. This was after Bruford had already been in King Crimson and Crimson broke up, and he plays all the drums on this. I believe Alan White plays drums on one song because there's a new stereo mix by Jackson. I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but there's also an original stereo mix remastered, plus Lucky 7, Silent Falling, and Running with the Fox, and Return of the Fox, which are, those two Fox ones are with Alan White. And so the, what was I going to say? The remix, I'm not sure about that yet. I have to actually listen to that on an even better stereo, because the headphones that I was listening to it on made me feel like the bass drum had been buried. And people are really kind of hypercritical on Jaco's remixes compared to like Steven Wilson. I don't think burying Bill Bruford's bass drum is a wise decision, and I don't like that. So I've only really listened to the first song on the remix, and then the remaster of the original on here. But it is fantastic. Another esoteric. Get these while you can, because they're out of stock at distributors for like a lot of the CD record store kind of distributors, like the One Stops and stuff like that. Alright, let's see. I got a bunch of stuff from a guy on eBay. One of them is this Peter Hamill. Actually, there were quite a few Peter Hamill discs. And this is Peter Hamill with Stuart Gordon. And Stuart Gordon is a violin player. And this is live. Him doing a lot of his solo stuff. I don't think he does any... he doesn't do any Vandergraaf Generator stuff on this. But we have a lot of stuff with him doing Vandergraaf stuff. I think my cat's freaking out. Roxy, come here. Roxy. I think she's freaking out because she wants to sit in her chair, and I have a bunch of stuff in the chair right now. So here's Peter Hamill X which basically is him playing live versions on either guitar or piano of all the stuff from his From the Trees album. Consequences, which was a studio album that he put out in, what year was this? Of course, he's not going to tell me the year. Well, he still looked pretty young at that point. He's looking kind of old. I mean, he is, I think in his late 70s or something like that right now. So, Consequences, it's very dark, kind of. I've only listened to it once, unfortunately. Gary Hamill with, Peter Hamill with Gary Lucas. This one is called Other World, and Gary Lucas is also a guitar player that come here, that I can't remember who he played for. Come on, come on. I have a cat who does not like to be held one bit. She does not like to be held, and but she always wants attention. Don't you? Come here. Hey. Yep. She wants lots of attention. Here, I'll show you her. She won't even let me pick her up, though. She won't. She'll probably bite me if I try to pick her up. Peter Hamill with Amorphous Androgynous, also known as Future Sounds of London. I probably wouldn't have picked this up had I known exactly what it was like, because it's basically one song with Peter Hamill on vocals, and all the rest is kind of weird, kind of electronic bullshit. But I kind of like it still. Peter Hamill Sonics, which is basically him doing kind of score music. It does say on the back, music for film, dance, and imagination. The song is almost entirely absent. It's really good. It's great background music too. I haven't listened to the following. Peter Hamill with Guy Evans. Guy Davis is the artist from, God, what is he? From The Realm, Sandman Mystery Theater, The Marquee. Guy Evans is the drummer from Vandergraaf Generator. This is them kind of doing improv stuff, I believe. As I said, I haven't listened to it yet. Them also in concert, the Union Chapel concert, which saw the very first reunion after many, many years of Vandergraaf Generator, and this was released in '97, and then Vandergraaf Generator actually got together, did a new album in, I want to say it was 2005 or 2007, something like that, so about 9 to 10 years later. Alright, so now is the one band that I thought I was never going to get into fully, because I was never really impressed with Flight of the Snow Goose, or The Snow Goose. I have learned to, or not learned, but come to enjoy it a lot more than when I first got it, and I first bought it in 2016, so it's been about 5 years since I picked this up, and I thought it was good, but I thought it was kind of overrated. I will say that Nima, or the Prog Nerd, has talked about Camel so much that I was like, oh, I gotta check that out. And then my buddy Ryan told me that he is a huge Camel fan, and he said that the guitarist Andy Latimer is a big fan, or no, the guitarist from Marillion is a big fan of Andy Latimer. Is it Latimer? Jesus Christ. I'm just talking way too much and way too... Andrew Latimer, yes. he is a big fan of both David Gilmour and Andy from Camel. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to check some more of their stuff out. I started with, we'll just go kind of in order here. So I'm not a big fan of the earlier stuff. Like, this album is pretty good, but it didn't excite me quite as much as, like, say, Moon Madness. Wow, this is just awful lighting here for these things. Maybe if I just kind of go like this. Let me find another disc that I can put up here. So like Moon Madness, I thought was actually pretty damn good. It also has the song Lunar Sea on it, which is phenomenal, just awesome. One thing that I have not remembered to bring down was they had a thing called Moon Dances, which was later on in their career. It's them playing a lot of the stuff from their career up to that point. I think it was filmed in 1977, but at that point they have Richard Sinclair from Caravan and Mel Collins from King Crimson, who's back in King Crimson currently, on saxes and flutes and stuff. And I just love Richard Sinclair's playing. He just makes it look so effortless, and he's fantastic. And vocally, he fits so well. I just got this one today. We're gonna have to just go like that. Just got this one today, and now we have to go back to this. God damn it! The lighting in here just sucks ass. I've yet to listen to this. I love the fact that it is basically the Camel cigarettes package. I told my wife she needs to be the hugest Camel fan because she smokes Camels. And these are all the remastered version. Here is Rain Dances. So this is the one where Richard Sinclair joined. Mel Collins was on some of the tracks, but not an official member yet. Here's actually before their original bass player leaves. This is a live recording. That's actually what it's called, a live recording. What a shitty title. And, you know, honestly, I'll say most of their album covers I don't think are that great. I think they're kind of horrid. But this one is a good example. Bad album cover, bad album title, but the music is fantastic. Here is really late in their collection. This is like from 1984, but it's called Pressure Points. It's a 2-disc. This one is also a 2-disc one too, by the way. 2-disc live in concert from '84, and I've yet to listen to this. I've listened to bits and pieces of it because they had a video from this same show, and Colin Bass, who is also the bass player at that time, was playing some just absolutely tasty fretless bass. And the last few, so I wasn't gonna go super far, and then I decided, you know what, I might as well just go for broke. And turns out that these ones that I was going to pass on have been actually my favorites rather than the more instrumental based stuff. And this is Breathless. This is with that lineup with Mel Collins and Richard Sinclair, Latimer, Andy Ward on drums. Let me make sure I'm getting the keyboardist's name, Andy Ward, and then the keyboardist, Peter Bardens. Yeah, so that's who's all in the band at this time. And these are all esoteric. And hopefully I'm pronouncing esoteric right for my friend Dave Martin, because he told me that I was pronouncing it wrong or incorrectly, and I said, well, screw you, I'm going to keep on pronouncing it incorrectly. Single Factor, this is probably my least favorite of the later albums because it's just so light, and but there are some great songs on it. I believe Sasquatch and God, what was, I think Lullaby? I'm not 100% sure. I've only listened to this one once. Nude, which I ordered from one place, then had to order from another place because it got canceled because they were out of stock. No, that was Breathless. Breathless was the one that was out of stock, and I had to suffer with Amazon. But Nude also is, I think, that same lineup. Let's have a look-see. Yeah, no. So this has a bunch of different guys on it. I think this is the one where he was using studio musicians. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, he had a few people on here. But if you're a fan of Camel, you know all that shit. And last but not least is their awesome Cold War inspired album, Solitary Traveler, which is fantastic. I love it. There's a song on here called West Berlin that basically feels like Cold War greatness. It's just funny that I can be like, oh God, the Cold War had, so, you know, kind of a cool, I guess if you were involved in like West Berlin and all that area, it probably wasn't that great for you, but just like the kind of like imagery and whatnot just kind of has a cool vibe to it for us people that are sick of current events, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with that shit, but so yeah, that is the last one. There's only one more in the Camel. Well, I don't have anything after the Pressure Points album when they reformed in 1991. I may get those, but I am so looking for the I Can See Your House From Here esoteric version. That is a holy grail for me right now, because I want that remastered version. My buddy Ryan said he has a copy of the regular CD before it was remastered to tide me over, so that'll be cool. But yeah, so might as well show this one because this is a good way to say good night and goodbye, and that is some new music that I have been getting into. Some of the new things just because this is fun. I don't know what anybody else is looking forward to, but I am looking forward to some new music coming out in 2021. June 16th, Peter Hamill's new album. June 25th, the new Fractal Universe, which is kind of technical death metal, so kind of hypocrite in that first sense. But same day is Gentle Giant's Freehand coming in 5.1 surround sound also. July 23rd is Marillion with Friends live. The 30th, Big Train have a new album coming out. The 27th of August is Neil Morris Band's new album, and Bebop Deluxe's Air Age, put out by, again, Esoteric, or is it Esoteric? And then on September 24th is ISILDUR'S Bane with PH, also known as Peter Hamill, and The Watch, which are a band that sound almost exactly like Genesis, but nowhere near as awesome as Genesis with Peter Gabriel. So, have a good one. Thanks for watching.